Hey guys, what's up? I am Rob Thomas, and this is Triple M's Hard Questions. Melbourne. Not because I'm here, but because I live in New York in the States, and I feel like that Melbourne is like the New York of Australia for me when I come over. Like it's like you just step right in, it's easy to assimilate, it's got a good city vibe. Whereas like Sydney always kind of makes me think of either like Los Angeles or San Francisco maybe. And so I'm more of a city guy. So Melbourne's always been kind of my spot. Oh, I can't choose. That's like a Sophie's Choice. I gotta say Fleetwood Mac, only because it's so hard. I love the Finn brothers. I love Crowded House, but when I was a kid growing up, like Fleetwood Mac was around a little longer, right? They were around before, whereas like the Crowded House was like I discovered in the '80s, and when I was like a kid in the late '70s, growing up like in American radio, that's like driving to and from the store and school with your mom, like listening to Fleetwood Mac and then like blaring Fleetwood Mac. So like I think it hits me right in the feels like a little kid, and it makes me think of my mom who's not with us anymore. So I'm gonna go with Fleetwood Mac. I'm sorry to the Finn brothers, but if you go out right now and you watch Fleetwood Mac, you can see Neil Finn playing with Fleetwood Mac. So that's kind of like having the best of both worlds all in one, with Mike Campbell from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers playing guitar. I care about neither. I'm not a sports guy at all, really, except for tennis. I do love tennis, and I'm friends with like a bunch of tennis players. And I was hanging out with Andre Agassi, and I told him that the difference between him and I is that when I play Rod Laver, I win every time. But for the rest, it's really bad too, because I have like sports guys that come. They'll come, and they're like big deals in sports in the States, like football guys and baseball guys. And as they're walking in, I've got somebody in my ear going, "Okay, Rob, this is so and so, and they're a really big deal in sports. Just to act like you know them." And I'm like, "Hey, congratulations on the sports ball." I mean, David Bowie was fashion and music. Mick was like the greatest frontman of all time. I know Mick. I've worked with Mick. We wrote some songs together. David Bowie. Yeah, it's gotta be David Bowie. Only because Mick has been the world's greatest Mick Jagger since the minute he stepped onto the scene, right? Like and he's been consistent, like bedrock. But David Bowie has been like 17 different artists in his career. Like he was never the same person, and he was always reinventing with every one. So like it's like you get Ziggy Stardust, and then you've got the '80s Let's Dance period, and then you've got like even later with the Heaven. So I'm gonna go with David Bowie just because of all the different facets of his career. Melody is key, I think, because like everybody can like a lyric in a song, but it's the melody that makes you care enough to read the lyric and care about it. Like I always think that like melody is like the hot girl or the hot guy at the bar, right? Like that's what draws you over, and like it's the first thing you notice, and it's what makes you want to go over and sit down and have like proximity to them. And then you're lucky and you find out that like they have a really good personality and they're a good conversation, and that's what the lyric is. Once that melody draws you in, then you feel like you want to sit down and see what the song's actually about. So I think melody is the key. Metallica. That's not hard for me. I mean, I of course, I have a lot of respect for Ozzy and for Black Sabbath, and growing up, I mean, that was kind of seminal for me, like everything Ozzy. I used to love Ozzy. I was kind of a freak about it. But I just think, I mean, I don't know, just it's an intangible reason. I can't explain exactly what it is, but I just think Metallica is one of the greatest rock bands of all time. And just the fact that they did Some Kind of Monster movie where they went to therapy, like they put that all out there. I thought that alone was so brave. They should get like they care. Like right now, they're sitting at home going, "You better say us, Rob, or I'm going to be very upset."
Excellent. I think you passed the test. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Those were hard.